Hey, it's Sil and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about line quality and how to take your drawings from something like this to something like this. I personally use an ergonomic grip on my Apple Pencil. It makes the pencil much easier to hold and I have a lot more control of it. I'm only trying this one now. I got it for my birthday. Really sweet, but I'm not sure it's the best. It seems a little too big for my hands. You gotta find what works for you. On this day I was using Procreate for this, but you can use whatever drawing program you're honestly comfortable with. It does not really matter. Regarding brushes, you can honestly use whatever you're most comfortable with, preferably the brush that you usually sketch with, since this is about line quality. However, I do want to say if you really want to push yourself, you're going to use a no pressure opacity brush. This forces you to make very conscious brushstrokes, as you cannot rely on opacity to make things look pretty. The most basic exercise you can do is a horizontal line, however long you want it, however many times you think is necessary, but I do recommend at least 8 times. Another even more useful way to go about this, in my opinion, is ghosted lines. Now what ghosted lines are is exactly what I'm doing at the moment. You put 2 points away from each other on paper and then you try to hit both those points in one stroke. And you keep doing this over and over again until you feel like you have enough control over the line. And then you try and switch directions. The reason for doing this in all directions is so you can get as comfortable as possible making lines in any direction you want to. Another big point I want to mention, instead of making brushstrokes with just your wrist, try and move your entire arm instead. This way you will get a much smoother line. As you can see here, I'm moving my whole arm instead of just my wrist, and it's so much easier, so much smoother. Now, one thing that I keep rambling about is your wrist health. As an artist, if you don't take care of your hands, you're gonna suffer later on. And this is why utilizing your shoulders and moving your entire arm instead of just your wrist is much better for you in the long run. Here I am, I was about to try and draw a line with just my wrist, but then I switched and here I am moving my entire arm instead, which is much healthier. Another really useful exercise is training your ellipses / curves / circles. So what you do in this case is you put down 2 perpendicular lines quite close to each other, and then you just try and draw circles. Now what is extremely important here is that your circle walls touch the 2 lines. What I really recommend is kind of going above the canvas in circling motions before you actually put down your pen onto the canvas. This way you can kind of get used to the motion and get a really even circle. As I mentioned, you can also do it with curves, so you do these snaky curves, and again, the top and bottom are supposed to touch the lines. Now, because the lack of line quality directly affects my drawings, I try and draw the things I usually draw, like for example people, and I just focus on the way my lines look. Normally I would be focused on making the entire piece look good, put down colors and everything, but no. The way I train line quality is I just sketch out whatever I want to sketch out and just leave it at that instead of rendering. What I want to mention is that obviously drawing people does not only come down to line quality, there's some sort of understanding of anatomy that needs to be there that I'm still working on. But regarding my line quality, I'm really trying to simplify my lines instead of scribbling 20 brushstrokes at a time and trying to compose one line. So my recommendation to you is, beyond training these little exercises that I showed you in the beginning of the video, also try and just draw a lot. It sounds very obvious, but try drawing more often. If you paint a lot, if you love coloring, etc., I know it sucks to only sketch, but trust me, it will improve your paintings by so much. I do want to mention that this footage is obviously sped up. This is now how fast I draw, and that's actually something that is extremely important when you practice line quality. Be slow, be steady, think of the brushstroke you're about to put down. Don't just scribble away mindlessly, because that's not going to help you train your line quality. It's not going to help you make better decisions with your drawings. It's just going to waste your time. So be slow, be mindful, and you will definitely improve your line quality. Now I'll just very quickly, and I mean very quickly, demonstrate this on paper. It's quite literally the same thing. You just draw the same things that I showed you digitally, you do them on paper as many times as you feel is possible and needed. Now I do have to give credit where credit is due. So all these exercises I learned about thanks to drawabox.com. It's a completely free resource. This is not sponsored, I wish. I promise you will not regret checking them out. Another free resource is the Proco YouTube channel, full of amazing drawing tutorials. Just go. I will be doing a lot of these exercises on my Twitch channel. I stream twice a week on there, so if you want to see it, maybe learn something with me, teach me something, feel free to hop there and follow me. I really appreciate you watching this video. Take care.